Book 5 has begun and we got a Feh Channel with lots of information to talk about. Because update 5.0 came out so late, I have a lot of videos to make, so expect more within the next couple of days. I'm going to try to keep this one brief because we have a lot to go through. First off, if you're watching this video, then update 5.0 is out right now, and with it Book 5 has launched. Be sure to update your game from your app stores and you can dive right in. As is tradition, we got a very cool cinematic for Book 5, and this time we're heading to Nidavellir, the land of the dwarves. We got another wildly different aesthetic this time, and it looks like a steampunk theme, including crazy horse looking mechs with rockets. The music is fantastic once again, and it sets the dark mood pretty well. We got an introduction to some characters, including Fafnir, who is the king of Nidavellir, the realm of Dvergr. Feh tells us he used to be adored by everyone, but in the trailer we clearly see a circlet or crown looking thing change him for the worse. I'm guessing Fafnir will be our major antagonist for the year, but perhaps there are other forces at play. Next is Oder, the younger brother to Fafnir. Feh says he looks up to Fafnir almost to the point of worship, so he'll probably be another enemy Alphonse and crew will have to face. Last is Reginn, the youngest sister of the trio and our main new buddy joining the Asker crew. She seems to have second thoughts about Fafnir's sudden change of heart, so it looks like we'll be helping her find out what happened. For some additional info, we got some spellings and tidbits. Again, Nidavellir is the world Book 5 takes place in. This world found a way to fuse magic and science into something they called Seithiarn. Dwarves are generally associated with forging things, so a technological world is a neat take on things. The mech that Reginn pilots is called the Gulimbursti, and it seems like it's the battle armor for the people of Nidavellir. Maybe one day we'll get a full-on modern-day Fire Emblem with guns and everything. Rip Advance Wars. Now during the trailer we got a peek at two very different looking characters. We didn't get any names yet, but if you like buff ladies then you'll be very happy. They could be related to the Allfather / Odin character that Thor serves, and that comes back to Thor recruiting Leifnir at the end of Book 3, and then Leifnir seemingly recruiting Triandra and Plumeria at the end of Book 4. Maybe the Allfather plot will advance with these new characters, but we'll have to see. Moving on, we have some Book 5 launch celebration rewards to earn. There is a login bonus worth 20 orbs. We have some Book 5 quests that include 1000 Aether Stones to buy some new Book 5 themed Aether Raid structures. These quests offer one more thing, which we'll talk about later. There is also a new Book 5 castle design if you want to switch up your home screen. As usual, if you complete chapter 1 of Book 5, you'll get a new 5-star hero, and this time it's going to be Reginn. She is a mythic hero and is an Astro Mythic, which is going to be nice for a lot of people. We actually have a new banner to go with Book 5's launch, and it's going to include Reginn as one of these summonable focus units. She's a sword cavalier with a lot of attack and speed. I will be making a video for the banner specifically, so I won't dive into details here just yet. Reginn has some very interesting mechanics tied to her unique weapon and introduces the Kanto ability into Feh. Now joining Reginn for this banner will be 3 Sacred Stones characters. It's been a year since the last Sacred Stones batch, so I had a feeling it was coming, and we got some Grotto affiliated characters this time. First we have Duso, who was a Grotto general that eventually decided to aid Erica and Ephraim because he recognized what was going on wasn't right. He taught Ephraim how to fight, and while Duso is basically the main axe cavalier given to you in Sacred Stones, he instead is going to be a lance cavalier in Feh because we just don't have enough of those guys apparently. A lot of people thought Duso could bring Garm with him, but I think the fact that Brave Ephraim's Garm also got a refine is one of the reasons they decided not to share the weapon. It's a shame, but Duso's gonna be okay with his Obsidian Lance. He is a slow lance cav with good attack and bulk, plus his weapon gives some follow-up attacks. Duso's gonna be a more solo-oriented one-man army type of cavalier, which is fitting for the Great Knight class. Next we have Selena back from the beach. She's another Grotto general, and while Duso was willing to go against the Emperor, Selena was loyal to the end. The Floor Spar is once again a mage cavalier, and this time is taking over the blue mage class. Summer Selena had the best attack and speed spread out of all mage cavs, but I believe this regular Selena is even better than that. She was the bolting user boss in Sacred Stones, but she'll instead have the Tome of Storms as a replacement. It can replicate some of the bolting's power thanks to having no follow-up 3, which you can pair with Desperation or Wind and Water Sweep to simulate that ridiculous range from the main games. Our last banner unit and the 4-star focus unit is Natasha, who is going to be a pretty typical healer. Personally, I didn't end up using Natasha much when I first played Sacred Stones because they already gave you Molder, but it would be nice to reunite her with Joshua. Like most demoted healers, it's really just about stat preferences if you want to use her. Now, the Book 5 / Sacred Stones banner is also out right now. You can summon for Reginn if you want more copies, but I believe she will be on the December Legendary banner at the end of the month as well. For the Grand Hero battle, we have Kellic, who is another Grotto General. He will release tonight, or at least at the next reset basically. Kellic is an Axe Infantry unit, but unfortunately won't have a unique weapon, which is a shame. He's on the slower slide, but will be a bit bulkier in both defense and res. Not expecting much from him outside of stat variety, if I'm being honest. To make up for Reginn taking a spot on the banner, we're also getting Noel via the Book 5 quest. You can earn 2 4-star copies. Noel is the main Dark Mage in Sacred Stones and would pretty much be the ideal user of Gleipnir. Unfortunately, Mage Erica mugged him years ago and she got a refine for it already, so poor Noel is relegated to the Red Fox tome. A nice tome to have in the lower rarity pool, but still. In terms of stats, I would say Noel got Red Maged, if you know what I mean. Middling speed, low defense, high res. At the very least, he will be workable depending on what you want to invest in. Noel will enter the summoning pool as a 3 to 4-star unit when the December Legendary banner hits later this month. Now we have some update 5.0 information. In Aether Raids there will be changes to lift gained. Basically the base value for winning on offense goes up from 80 to 100 and the base value for losing on defense goes from -80 to -100. Since you can attack more times than you get attacked, this should make it easier to have higher lift scores overall. Because of this change, they are also introducing tier 28, so for those of you chasing after the top, good luck there. There is also going to be a new mechanic with the bonus mythic hero for this season. Each season there will be 1 offense mythic and 1 defense mythic as the bonus units. If you use these specific mythic heroes, you get a bonus in lift gained or lost. For offense teams, you basically get 1 free death that's not going to affect your score. For example, if you normally gained 120 points for a win, losing 1 ally would drop you down to 100 score. Now if you bring the bonus Light or Astra mythic hero, you won't be penalized for 1 death. If you lose 2 units, it would be like you only lost 1, and so on and so forth. This is also going to apply to defense teams as well, but instead you basically get 1 free kill even if your team got completely wiped out. If you normally would have lost 100 lift for not killing any of the attackers, having the bonus Dark or Anima mythic hero will instead only cost you -80 lift. If your team does get KOs, then they basically get a bonus kill for free. Overall, this change encourages use of all the different mythics when it's their season. Again, if you're chasing the very top and aren't summoning for every single mythic out there, then have fun with that. There is also another change coming, and it's basically a new effect for new mythic units. Important to understand, this new effect only affects brand new mythics being released starting with Reginn. In the Aether Raids edit team screen, you're going to see that there's another team slot or another unit slot. This slot will only be usable if you have a new mythic hero with the raiding party or defending team bonus. For example, Reginn's Astra Blessing has a different looking attack symbol, and at the very bottom it has this second effect. A mythic hero with this ability allows you to use that last slot, so you can have 6 offense units or 7 defense units. You can also place Reginn or any of the new mythics in that slot. Now the only units who can go in that last slot are mythic or legendary heroes with the elements of the season, or regular units with a blessing of any of those seasons. This extra hero will also not affect lift score. While Reginn will be the only mythic with this ability for a while, I'm sure this is going to make things even crazier, especially for defense teams with 7 units. They specifically noted that defending mythics could have even more restrictions, so we're just gonna have to see what happens when the day comes. Now for some non-Aether Raid changes, they are updating summoning once again. First off, the appearance rate for 5 stars will always be on the screen. This is nice if you don't like to manually keep track of how many summons before the next pity increase, and it may also let newer players know that the raids are kept for the whole circle, even if you pull a 5 star before doing all 5 summons. We are getting a change to pity rate focuses for focus units, and this is going to be a nice addition. Basically, if you got spooked by a non-focus unit, your pity rate resets back to the base value, hence why we call those units pity breakers. Now if you get pity broken, the rates will only go down by a combined total of 2%. In English, basically a standard 3% focus and 3% non-focus banner, you drop 1% for both groups. Now keep in mind, this rate will never go under 3% for the non-focus units, so this feature is only impactful if you reach above 4% pity rates on both groups. If you have 4.25%, you would drop down to 3.25%. If you're below that, you would just drop back down to 3% on both groups. Not the most groundbreaking new addition, but it does help for those times when you're just getting unlucky, and this is nice if you're going for a long summoning session, but keep getting multiple pity breakers before a focus unit. For obvious reasons, this change doesn't affect the monthly banners since they have no non-focus groups. Last thing they showcased was the winter banner silhouettes. I have no clue who it could be, however they are letting us spark 3 times. Just like the Brave banner from this year where you could spark 4 times, I assume the system's only going to let you pick 1 copy of a focus unit. If you summon 120 times total, you're guaranteed at least 3 of the focus units. Not sure if this is a nice Christmas bonus or if the units on the banner are going to be really tempting to spend for. This banner is going to be out in mid-December, so keep that in mind. That's going to be it for this Feh channel. Like I said at the start, because the update dropped literally at the last moment, I have a lot to cover. I'm planning to cover the 4 banner units, the new update 5.0 refines, and then we'll talk about Kellock as well. We also have new ephemera comment manuals, but these topics will come first. Thanks for watching. Leave your thoughts on New Book 5 in the comments, and I'll be back very soon.